when the organizers approached me for coming here, I first of all got surprised because normally CSR is meant for the companies and I belong to the government sector. So as such, how I was going to fit in this particular setup. Then they advised me that at least I should share some my experiences. So speak and share kind of their momentum was there. So I thought, okay, fine. I agreed for it. I had the fortune of course, working in the government sector for around 35 years and being associated with the formulation of national water policy and many important water resources projects also. Right now, of course, I am chairing Godavari River Management Board. As you all know, that after bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh into Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, there are bound to happen water related disputes. So I am in the process of reconciling with both the states how the optimum development of water resources can take place. Well, friend, the presentation which I am going to make is based on my past 35 years of experience as well as my interaction with the all sectors of society, mostly from members of parliament, legislative assemblies, professors, even the business people also, as well as students also, about national water policy, which I was associated in formulation of it. Well, friends, all of you are aware about this famous theory of hierarchy of needs. We start our needs start from, in fact, in the morning session also we'll say the first the stomach has to be full. So we start from the physical, security, social, and finally we reach to the self-actualization level. In the water resources sector also, a similar phenomena has happened. And if you see at the immediately after independence, we were pressed with the fundamental issue of roti, kapra, or makan, because there were famines, the partition has taken place, and that was the era of Nehru, Gandhi, where we went for the and focused in the water sector on roti, kapra, makan. Lots of dam came up during that time. There was a focus on building the water supplies and the food security as well as water security. Thereafter, we moved on to the water security concept of Bijli Sarak Pani, which was of the first, I think, NDA government during Atal Bihari Vajpayee, all the Garland Canal system and other focus was there. Then we moved to, after that, Avarilta, Nirmalta and Swachhta. The Narendra Modi government came and the Modi first phase was on focused on Avarilta, Nirmalta and Swachhta. We had the Swachh Bharat campaign. The river rejuvenation also came. Even the ministry name also was changed to river development and Ganga rejuvenation. Thereafter we had Jal Shakti Abhiyan, water conservation, and Jal Jeevan Mission. And thereafter the next phase is going to be, which is self-actualization, what our Honorable Prime Minister is telling about environment friendly, sufficient, efficient water system, river rejuvenation, sustainability and Atmanirbharta. Why I am saying this thing? Because our growth of perception in water sector also has matched with the hierarchy of needs, and this is what our future lies. We have to be environment friendly, efficient water system, river rejuvenation has to be. So these are the aspects where we have to focus now. And the country as a whole, and of course the companies also, our corporate sector are also part of it, has to focus now on all these key words, not only sustainability but the eco-friendly, efficiency, river rejuvenation and Atmanirbharta also. And as our Honorable Prime Minister is calling, the Amrit Kal of our independent India. So we have entered into Amrit Kal, and these are the key words where we have to focus ourselves. And for this, the nature-based solution is the secret of it, and we have to focus on that part. Of course, all of you know that nature-based solution involves the ecosystem that the nature provides itself for solving our water-related issues. In fact, in 2018, the worldwide it got the attention. The World Water Day theme was also nature for water, and in our country also now this is picking up the attention of the government policy makers, and we are working on that part. All of you are aware, nature performs many functions of direct ecosystem. Probably we don't know, realize it, but these functions are there. A few things I'm just bringing out, you can come out with many more examples of these things. The one is vegetation covers reduces damage caused by heavy rain by slowing runoff, which reduces soil erosion, related pollution, and mitigating the impact of flash floods. All these are our day-to-day problem which we face, and the nature has been providing it. Even in our spiritual world also, when the Ganga took the Avtaran, the Lord Shiva's, the head Jata, took this thing, and that shows that the forest has the nature has the role in bringing the water and finally channelizing that water through for the betterment of the humankind. Wetlands and hold water back. Their rich plant diversity also takes up excess nutrients and filters out suspended solids. So that also the natural process which works as for water managers. The flood plains also accept large volume of water during extreme events. Delaying and buffering impacts downstream, so they mitigate and addresses the flood-related issues. Nature-based solutions are for sustainable development are not new. They have been there for since the humankind came up, and there are many examples around the world. The issue is what we in the government sector and the water professional face is how to mainstream those solutions, accelerate it, and scaling up. That is what is needed, and that's why the World Water Day theme of this year is also like water security is there. Water for peace, and that is for sustainability, and other aspects are related. In a healthy ecosystem, these services are provided constantly at no or low cost and no or low maintenance. So it is not something which is not doable or requires a huge money. We have to be aware and put a little bit of ours contribution to it, and we can mainstream those processes and accelerate it and scale up, of course, because if each one of us do our bit, certainly the whole world will get the desired results. These are the basic framework which I have just introduced to. Now I will take you to a few common problems which we all know and how the nature can solve these problems. As you know, then water, I would be of course more focused about in India. The water sector in India, the key challenge which we are facing is high temporal and spatial variability. We have a huge variability as far as the water availability is concerned. If you can see from the some two photographs I have given, one is about the water availability. You see the rainfall. It's not there on the north, on the east and northeast side. You will see a huge, heavy amount of rainfall, with the Cherrapunji going more than 1500 centimeters in a year in northeastern region, and on the western side in Rajasthan we have got less than 10 centimeters. This is a huge difference which we are facing, not only in the spatial terms, in geographical terms, because our country is very large. On the right side, if you see with reference to the months also, 75% of the water is available only during monsoon season. Rest of the period we are having very less monsoon. But we need water all the time. So these inequities are available in our water supply and availability, and that is our key challenge. And how the nature can provide it, some of the solution we are already addressed, we have recognized it. The number one is because we have the variation and what we do at home. The municipal supply comes only in the morning and evening, and the first thing we do is to store water. Even at the country level also, this is what is required. So the first and foremost focus has to be on increasing water storage. We have reached up to 258, and what we have assessed is we can go up to 450 billion cubic meter of the storage. We have reached almost like past half the marks, but I think the country is progressing very fast. We would reach the optimum level of 450 billion cubic meter of storage, and for which the government, our Honorable Prime Minister, has already launched Amrit Sarovar scheme, where 75 tanks in each district is to be developed for water storage sites. So this is a scaling up that process. The nature has provided us tanks, the conservation, and we are trying to use that very natural tanks availability in the southern and peninsular region. We have the natural, since centuries we are using them, and that is what is coming into the mainstream of our government policies of increasing water storage. The next is, of course, repair, innovation, and restoration, what we call triple R of water bodies. In the state from which I am coming right now, from Telangana, the Mission Kakatiya has been made a very successful program of the government, the state government. They have got around 48,000 tanks renovated, and that has given rise to a huge water security of that state. I have the privilege of working in that very state as when I was young as executive engineer. They were almost like desert kind of situation in Mahbubnagar and Khammam districts. And now when I visit, I see all the greeneries around. And that is the impact which Mission Kakatiya and water bodies has contributed it. That is very essential, and that is also the focus of the central government and the state government to develop the water tanks. And added to it that because we cannot develop more large projects now because of rehabilitation and environment issues, so the focus has to be on review of all existing reservoirs, how we can augment it without increasing much more problems on the rehabilitation aspects and the environment issues. We are fully aware of the environment and rehabilitation challenges which water resources projects face. So our focus has to be on optimizing the existing sites and existing infrastructure which we have, so that the key challenge of high temporal and spatial variability can be mitigated to a great extent. The next challenge which our country is facing is about water security. If you see, when we got independence, the water availability was something around 5,000 meter per cubic meter per person. And that is, of course, because at that time our population was very less. Now our population has blown up, like we are the largest, I think, populous country in the world. And that is why the water availability has remained the same. So per capita water availability has gone down. Most of you are aware about Falkenmark's water stress indicator, which is used worldwide, how to indicate the water security issues. If you see, the water stress is about 1700 cubic meter per person. We have already gone below that, and many of the regions have gone into water scarcity region, which is about less than 1000 cubic meter per person. But as I have said in the first slide, that the western seas and the southern India has the lesser water availability, and that is why the Kaveri disputes and other disputes are coming up. So water scarcity situation is coming up, and for that the national water policy does stipulate that increasing water storage in its various forms is the must in that part. And we should not focus only on the large projects because of the challenges in rehabilitation, environment safeguard measures, but also in terms of soil moisture, which is called green water, ponds. The groundwater also is very important, and a small and large reservoirs. So we have to put all our efforts together as much as to increase the water storage so that water availability can be increased and per capita water availability is there. Even at the gross level, if you look at, we get around 4,000 billion cubic meter of water annually. The nature gives it that much water, but only 2,000 billion cubic meter is utilizable, and that is very, almost 50% is not utilizable. Some of it may be because of topographical reasons, but a large is because of we have not developed our optimum water resources. The storage is less, and so we need to focus on that. Right now we are having only 1133 billion cubic meters of water. We have come a big way, but it's still a long way to go. And that is why I'm here along with you people to sensitize, so that we have to put all our efforts to increase the storage so that, and conserve the water resources so that water availability can be increased. And this key challenge which our country is going to face can be mitigated to a great extent. Next challenge is, of course, is the low consciousness. In fact, there is a slogan in Hindi also, "Pani ki tarah bahana," and that is called. I feel very bad about it when listen, because water is considered as something which is unimportant, and it's like a wastage kind of thing, and that is why people are wasting it also, and that's largely because people consider it's for granted. They take it as a nature's gift, and so they feel it is a public good. No need to worry. It's a nature-free bounty, and anything free is coming, people don't value it. That is the real problem which is there. Whereas worldwide, I'm just quoting that from the Dublin Resolution, worldwide water is considered as economic good. It is a resource. In our country also, it is being realized. And this is the indication that why we are having interstate water disputes. And not only at the interstate level, even between town and town, even within the town also, colony, the disputes are coming up. Because it is a vital resource for our economic development. And so people fight for its water share. And this, as I've said, this year World Water theme itself is also water for peace. And the key is this only, because water we don't consider as a resource, economic resource, we don't value it, and that's why we are wasting it. So there is a need to go for nature-based solution, how the nature is given, because economics drives the technology. Technology is driven by economics. You have seen the mobile phone, very short span of time, from 2G we have reached to 5G kind of thing, because there is economy, money involved in it. In the water sector also, because we have taken it as a nature gift, it's almost like free. In fact, many of the government is still publicized as free water, free electricity, and that is why people don't value it. But if it is considered as a economic packaging, we need to do it. Then certainly the water value will increase, people will value water, and our scarcity of the valley and the development of the country will come up through. Some of suggestion may be there, of course, about the water pricing also. When I was drafting national water policy, there was a lot of resistance from the government that how can you make it as a water is a priced commodity. People will not accept it. And as you have seen, everybody is talking of freebies, free water supply. So there was a lot of opinion against it. But when I got interacted with the Panchayati Raj people, the Mukhyas, the ground level political functionary, and interacted with the union cabinet, the ground level functionary very openly told, we need water. In fact, what people have come out, and that's why the national water policy has a chapter on water pricing. And people are realizing wherever there is a free water, the situation have gone from bad to worse. So, consciousness is increasing, and I am sure as a water professional, this consensus will increase. And we need to, economic packages, some of the suggestions is there, like water bottle may be charged, and when you return it, some discount may be given. So the prices can be kept low, effective pricing, but on the face of it, it should be there, so that people are becoming nature consciousness. The irrigation water can also be priced. You see, right now the whole country is concerned about farmers' agitation, and they are fighting for the minimum support price. I'm just finishing up. Same way, the domestic and industrial water also can be charged, and industries may be subsidized. We do agree that our industries and the farmers needs subsidization and the support system, but the human tendency, it should not be given free, otherwise it will go waste. You charge it and then compensate it, so that you charge it and have a factor in the minimum support price, so that the net price will not be there, but people will value water, and at the same time people will not be taxed too much or harassed so much on that. In fact, in Gujarat, when I was in charge of Narmada Control Authority, there was a drought in 2018, and we introduced the concept of water trading. The Maharashtra got traded their water share for the power. The Madhya Pradesh state traded for the cash, and Rajasthan, because at that year they cannot be used, for the next year. So even the water trading concept is also coming up, This has come up in Narmada Control Authority with the Narmada Basin with the 4 states of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. A similar situation can be thought of for other regions also, because it is a resource. Now, we will value water only if it is priced and people will understand the value for it. Another link to that is also, as I have said, is low water use efficiency. I mean, it pains me a lot. We are having scarcity of water, our water availability is reducing, but you will be shocked to say that our water use efficiency is very, very low. Irrigation is 35 to 40%. I mean, I would call it as a criminal waste of water, which we are doing in our country. I am just flagging it so that people are aware of this fact, and we do our little bit to increase the efficiency. The non-revenue water in the municipal supply is as high as 50%. In fact, I was chairing the committee on Ecotest 24/7 water supply even for the Mumbai city also. The committee set up by the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly. There also the same situation was there. The wastage, the non-revenue water is the wastage of water in water supply. We are fighting for water availability, and you see the efficiency level is only 50%. 50% of water supply is wasted. That is a treated water. This is very, very, colossal waste of water resources, vital resource, and we should do it. The government of India, as part of climate change, has taken up National Water Mission. I am just listing up the most important goal of this thing, increasing water efficiency, is there. I am happy to inform that the government of India has also set up National Bureau of Water Use Efficiency, and for that part, because irrigation is a major sector consuming water, so there is a sectoral group on irrigation. I am fortunate to chairing that sectoral group also, and we have given the recommendation. The government has prima facie accepted it, and very soon we will come forward with many of the recommendations coming on the getting implemented. Some of the important is about water conservation, enhancing crop productivity, more crop per drop. Water budgeting also is going to be there. Water auditing is also going to be there. The project planning appraisal, even the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, the subsidy which the central government gives for the irrigation sector, that also is going to be revamped and factored on efficiency parameter. I am just a kind of sensitizing you people, but very soon you will see these policies are getting implemented at the country level, and our country will move forward from not 35 to 40% what we have forecasted, is something will come to around 50% or so. The first and foremost, the recommendation which this committee has recommended and has been accepted in principle, and we are working with the Finance Commission, 16th Finance Commission, to focus on that, is to go for pressurized pipe distribution network. In fact, you will be happy to say that many states have already adopted it. The state of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana have already adopted pressurized pipe distribution network, because irrigation is the major consumption of water, and there we are focusing more. They are consuming about 80%, very low efficiency, we are focusing on that. And a broad estimate of what we have worked out, that if we use around 650 billion cubic meter of water resources for in the irrigation, and if we do this little bit at the tertiary level piped irrigation, which is very easy to do, and as I have said, 4 or 5 states have already come up and made a policy intervention in this regard, we would be able to save about 100 billion cubic meter of water. And if you see, with this simple effort, we can cater to additional irrigation requirement by 30 to 40 billion cubic meter. The domestic and industrial supply also we can cater by around 30 to 40. And after meeting all these immediate requirements of irrigation and domestic and industrial supply also, we will be having something around 20 to 40 billion cubic meter to return back to the nature also. So this is the broad sector. As I have said, many of the policies are going to come up. In principle is there. So this is for the future the country is working for, how to make the nature-based solutions, so that using the natural process itself for improving and optimum water utilization and addressing majority of the water challenges. In fact, 1 or 2 recent time also is there. This year flood, you must have come about, Delhi has got a lot of flood. One of the conventional thinking is about interlinking of rivers. We know interlinking of river is coming up. The government is focusing on that. Ken Betwa has come up. Recently an agreement has also been on the Daman-Ganga Pinjal work, which will help the Mumbai city also. But in addition to conventional solution of this thing, flooding, we have to think of something like a spill channel as we have in the River Thames in the London. Even in our country also, Jhelum River has the flood flow channel is existing since centuries. The concept of a spawn city in China can also be thought of in a little bit to some extent in our own country also, so that the flood issues can get mitigated. There is a whole set of solutions available which I have just listed. Time is short, so I won't go into each in this thing, but the whole thing is like mulching, water conservation, water set, rainwater harvesting and other things. The technologies are available, the practices are available. We have to mainstream and upscale it, and where we need the cooperation of all of you to make it, water everybody's business, because it comes everybody, each one of us, and we can finally, enter with our head high in the Amrit Kal of our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution, and we'll thank him for his sharing of knowledge here, and I'm sure you will have a few questions for him during the networking break, so please join me in presenting him a small memento.